since we spoke about customer lists and email IDs and phone numbers and all of that you can, the database that you can upload on Facebook, where else can you use these customer lists? See, if you run a store, or if you run an offline store, or if for some reason you've got an email ID of people email database of people who have bought from you, or whatever data you've gotten, what can you do? What else can you do when you upload it on Facebook? You can continue the conversation with your customers. What I mean by that is, since you've sold to them and they've given you their phone numbers or email ID, then you can reach back to these guys via ads. You can you can retarget them as a custom audience and be like, okay, we miss you, or since you've been a customer, buy from us again, or whatever. You can just continue. There are so many restaurants that used to take your phone numbers, right? They can upload it on Facebook, and they can be like, okay guys, we have this event happening, or during the non-lockdown days, they could have done that. Second is, you can, as I said, get your customers to buy from you again. Third is, you can make a lookalike out of these guys. Okay, now what's the best audience for your campaigns? How do you find that? As I said, I'll tell you in a very simple manner. When you run one ad to 5 different audiences, you're optimizing for a certain objective. In this case, let's say video views, meaning that you want to get video views at the lowest cost. That's what you've told Facebook, right? My objective is video views, the lowest cost video views for for my audience from my ad, for this ad. So find me audience that's going to consume my video at the lowest cost, and that's about it. And I'm going to I'm going to give you 5 audiences to choose from. So now the audience which will produce the most views at lowest cost, that's your winner audience. That's the audience that you need to stick to and scale, because they're showing intent, and if they're showing intent, it's not going to cost you much. The audience that shows the most intent is going to cost you the least. All right. So Facebook algorithm basically helps you. It helps you optimize, to the most converting audience. You will see the rest 4 audience won't convert as well. And as I told you, it makes pockets. Even when it starts the ad, it optimizes. Why it constricts your ad to a pocket out of, the earlier 10 million people, is because it matches the audience that is already converting. Like when your ad is run a certain trajectory, it's already converted it's already covered a certain audience. So it's analyzed the patterns from those audience and found you more people who are likely to convert within that massive audience that you've given Facebook to target. 100k people out of the 10 million audience that you've given Facebook to target. Facebook's going to find you the 100k people that are more likely, that are more ripe for your brand. Okay, that's the power of Facebook algorithm. It basically shortens the process of finding your audience dramatically. Now, I want you to understand the most important aspect when it comes to your audiences. That is, understand analytics. Facebook is all about finding your audience, and you can further, learn about your audience and optimize things by looking at analytics, looking at various data that Facebook gives you. Your metrics are your main indicators. They will tell you whether you're doing a good job, or it's time to scale, or it's time to adjust. You got to keep testing. When you're running Facebook ads, your main indicator, the primary metric is cost per result. That's the ultimate metric that you got to track, and that metric is made up of many sub metrics, but main metric is cost per result, because that determines everything, right? That determines how profitable you are and how well you're doing. As a Facebook marketer, you better be ready to actively test audiences, test creatives, test optimization objectives and whatnot. Your cost per result increases when the audience is getting fatigued. That means same ad is being shown too many times to the same audience. You can call it ad fatigue. You can call it audience fatigue. Your cost per result decreases when Facebook has found a winning audience. So if your ad has run for a while, Facebook has also gathered more data about, where your ad should be shown. And the more you let the ad run, the more Facebook understands about your audience, and the more Facebook tries to help you reach, the kind of audience that you should be reaching, that the kind of audience that wants to work with you or respond to your ad. Now, doing a slightly deep dive into the analytics part of it. Let me open something for you. Now, when you're picking up a campaign, you can find all of this about all of these metrics about your campaign. What was the link click cost? What was the click through rate? Click through rate is basically how many percentage of the people who saw your creative clicked on it. What was the cost per click? Cost per click is not cost per purchase. Cost per click is just how much did it cost a person to click on your creative. That tells you, how well your creative performed. And cost per purchase is how well did your creative, landing page, everything at the same time performed. So all of these metrics are here, and it can be endless. How you can get more metrics is by choosing one of these things. If you want to track, so I've set up a very custom view here, about the metrics I want to track. You can also set up a custom column here, and choose the metrics that you want to track. There are so many metrics that Facebook gives you. You can just click on the ones that you want, that you find relevant, and I found 37 columns to be relevant for me for this use case. You can choose to add as many. And okay, now talking about audiences, there is something that you can do here. Let's get to the ad sets part of it so that we know a good breakdown of our audience. Here I can break down by delivery and find more things about my audience. That could be age. So out of wherever my ad ran, how are the different age groups reacting? And I can find here that 55 to 64 year olds are clicking more on my creative than the rest, but I'm not able to reach as many people. The most prominent audience is 35 to 44 years old. And are they buying from me? I can check out. Okay, they're buying from me. Who's buying the most? The audience that is 25 to 34 years old. How about 55 to 64 years old? They've not bought from me, and the ad hasn't gone too much in that direction. Great. So okay, this is how I'm analyzing ages. I can also analyze regions. Okay, where in India has my ad been going? Maharashtra. Okay, bulk of the orders have come from Maharashtra, Delhi, Karnataka. Okay, you can break down further things, and once you find insights from ads that have already run, this is what I meant when you spend money to gain insights. Now you've gotten insights, run the next ad to the the micro segments that are converting well, that is Maharashtra, Delhi, Karnataka, and certain age groups. Do that. This is laser targeting, and you've paid to get these insights. Do you get what I mean? Okay guys, that's a wrap. I'll see you around. Take care.